What's up, guys? It's Tim again. I know it's been a little while since I've made a video, just because, I don't know. You know how you get like super pumped about something and then you lose interest and blah 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 and all the other excuses in the world, right? But I wanted to make another video. Just no rehearsal, no nothing, just something off the dome. Just because what I've noticed. Just a lot of whether it's a personal, like it's winter time, right? Like it's about to be winter time, and if you ever read the Four Seasons or anything like that, or you just know, like, whether it's a personal winter or a financial winter or anything like that, this time of year, fourth quarter is always a weird time, because things start to slow down, people start to give up. Business starts to slow down, like things are just, there's a lot of going on, right? And it's because we're all so busy trying to get ready for the holidays or whatever it is, right? But then I've just seen a lot of people, especially people I care about, just posting some things that are just almost like a cry for help, right? You know, as much as we don't want to admit we don't need anybody's help, like, they're cries for help, right? And whether it's severe or not, like, you know, you can just be like, I'm lonely, right? Like that's not like, oh, I'm like suicidal, right? What, anything like that. But like I said, I haven't seen any of like that. The point is, it's a weird time, and I see a lot of people. It's a very interesting time, fourth quarter, because it's the time that people actually get serious about their goals, or they're getting, or they just give up, right? And so it's just a very curious time. I just want you to know, like whoever's watching this, that whatever you're going through right now, you're gonna come out on top, no matter what. As long as, I mean, you know, because every year there's something that happens in our lives that just completely defeats us, or we lose motivation, or we lack, or, you know, it's so many things. We're lonely, we're tired, we're just fed up, like it's just not happening quick enough, you know, besides deploying patience, because anything worth doing, anything worth having is going to take time, right? All that cliche stuff is true. And, you know, it's perspective, and it's gratitude. And right now at this time, if you're going through a personal winter, if you're like, you're not sure what's going to happen next, you're not even sure what's going on with life right now, you know, you're just kind of in limbo, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like, you're just kind of there, you're just kind of going through it and kind of going through the motions, and you're not really doing anything. A good method to practice is gratitude. Just be grateful. A lot of times, I think this time last year, I was going to the gym all the time. I was killing it. I just finished my bulk, right? And everything, like, I look back on those pictures, and obviously I was really, really overweight. But I was working on it, right? And like, from where I was then to where I'm at now, physically is awesome. Like, I'm happy, right? Not as happy as I want to be, but I'm happier than if I was still in the same place, right? And let's see, this time last year in November, I was on like my 7th month of sobriety, right? Which I don't talk about a lot. And it was awesome. It was awesome because, not because everything was cool, because it wasn't, like, you know, it's just a lot of things that, you know, people don't tell you, what they're going through financially, you know, personally, on anything like that. I never really shared what was going on, and I probably won't, because it's not anything to concern you with, right? But if you look at the pictures, like, I was happy, I was grateful, I was really excited, because I knew that that period I was in was going to be over soon enough, right? And you know, you read all the cliche things, like all greatness is on the other side of, you know, failure, struggle, all that kind of stuff, and it's so true, because you know, there's just been so many times as and if you can relate to this, then you know, then that's you know, this is for you as well. If you can't, that's okay too, because you're okay. It doesn't matter. In the last 3 years, when I was going through my absolute worst of my drinking phase or whatever, right, I had contemplated suicide many times, right? And you know, been somebody that suffers with depression and anxiety and all that kind of stuff. No longer do I suffer from depression. Anxiety I think it'll always be there, but I've managed to learn coping mechanisms, and you know, just practicing a healthier lifestyle. I've noticed when I stopped drinking, my anxiety like really cleared up a lot. Anything that was you know, using as a depressant, or you know, to make sure my anxiety was low, made it just higher the next day. So if you have a lot of anxiety or, you know, depression, and you're taking drugs or drinking or anything like that to make sure that it doesn't happen, it's only going to get worse, and I can tell you that from experience. Okay, so just living the healthier, cleaner lifestyle, like that's, you know, my anxiety, it's rare that it pops up, but it still happens. But I've just learned that it's a chemical imbalance that I have, and there's nothing I can do about it except for just practice things that will help me, right? And so I got lost. Anyways, so so this time last year, I don't know, even when I was starting to clear up, because you know, 8 months into sobriety, it was still kind of hazy. You know, things were starting to get clear. You know, you start to gain a lot of clarity. And I can say about a year and 7-8 months in now, it's just weird, because everything, like, I thought it was at my clearest a few months ago, and it keeps getting better, right? And it took time, guys. If you're lonely, what I can say to you is just wait. Work on yourself. Make sure you're self-sustainable, guys. I had no relationship for the last I don't know, maybe a year and I don't know, a few months, right? And just because it took me that time to work on myself, like I couldn't sustain a relationship. And a lot of us, and I was lonely, trust me, oh my god. But I always told myself I was, you know, when I was at my loneliest and life sucked and everything was bad and financially I was doing terrible, and I was like, if I could just get a partner, like I told myself I wasn't going to get a partner because I was lonely. Because that's the worst thing you can do for yourself and somebody else. Because then you get in a relationship with somebody and you're not all the way in, because you're just lonely, and you just need that affection, and you just need that stuff, that, you know, everything that comes with the relationship. And one person is always more invested than the other, and when those kind of cases, right? So as soon as you're not lonely anymore, what happens to that person that invested all this time and energy into you? You're gonna leave them. And karma's real. Karma's practical. I learned that from prior relationships, that I've done the similar thing where I was in it just to be in it, and I broke somebody's heart. And guess what happened in my next relationship? They broke my heart, right? So don't do that, guys. Karma is real. If you are gonna get in a relationship just for the sake of it, and you hurt the person because, you know, you're lonely and you finally get over your loneliness, your next relationship's gonna suck. Okay? So like I said, work on yourself. And I think even and anything else that is going on, whether you're lonely or not, that was just one example, because that's where I was at. And I know, and this is a time of the year where people start to really get lonely. And then on the other side of it is the financial aspect of I don't know. As I've grown over the years, I've never been good with money, and that's just because poverty mindset was never taught. how to do these things, and everything and so on and so forth. And if you've ever been in a financial hardship where you're either in debt or you owe somebody money, you don't know where you're going to get your next paycheck or how much it's going to be or what if it's going to be able to cover your expenses, your bills, you're getting things repoed, just being delayed on everything, it causes so much stress. Anyways, sorry. It's hard. It's a lot harder than people think. And if you've ever been there, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crippling. It's almost crippling. There'd be nights I'd stay up and just play over and over in my head, over and over and over and over, with the bad things that were going to happen. I was going to lose this, and this was going to find out this, and this was going to happen, and then I was going to lose this, lose that. Then I would have no transportation to get to where I needed to be in order to make the money I needed to make, in order to make that payment that I needed, like things like that, guys. If you know what I'm talking about, it would keep nights, countless nights. That didn't help with anxiety either. Just countless nights of overthinking things, Obviously, it was fine. It worked out. I got it figured out, I worked through it. And so, if anything, and there's anything I've learned over the past few years, is that these things are set in motion by your actions, right? And a lot of times, it's just the universe test. Like, if you're doing things and you have the right mindset and you're doing it for a greater purpose, if you're not, you're not slacking, you're not cheating, you're not stealing, you're doing everything right, and you're still financially, you're still having those hardships, just know that it's probably the universe testing you to see if you really want what you say you want, to see if you're really worth what you say that you want, if you can earn it, right? But if you are stealing, you are cheating, you are doing everything, you're going out, you're doing, you say you're hustling, you say you're working to be better, you're working on yourself, you're bullshitting, right? Then of course things are never going to get better. I don't know what you want me to tell you. There's no, you don't get a free pass for life. If you're going out every day or doing stuff that you're not supposed to, just not doing things for the greater good for yourself, or to help anybody else, it's not gonna get better for you. And I know this because I spent so many years being selfish, just focusing on myself, focusing on and not focusing on myself to get better, focusing on just, it's all about me. I need you to do this for me because I can't do that for myself, and blah blah blah, right? And saying I was a good person, and I've never thought I was a bad person, but when I think back at my actions, did not match my words. I thought in my head I was a good person. I thought I was doing good things. I was a nice person. But over here I was doing a bunch of shady stuff. A bunch of things where if you knew, and we were friends back then, I don't know why you're I don't know why we'd be friends. I wouldn't be friends with myself, right? And I think that's why I get really, I don't know, this last year for my birthday, I had a lot of good friends and family and fun, and it was friends, and it was awesome, and I was really emotional because I haven't experienced anything like that in a long time, because I was wasn't the greatest person, It's hard because you think in your head, you have this vision of yourself in your head, and it never, and then the actions don't always match who you think you are. And so it was really eye-opening. It was really great. I don't know. And I want you to know, because I've been through so much crap, and I'm sure you have too, and I don't want to go for tit for tat for what's worse or anything like that, And speaking on that, someone's always doing worse than you, and I believe that, and I think that's a good perspective. But if that's also, I hate that, because if some people are well, I'm okay because I'm doing better than them, right? That's a bad way to have your basis. To make yourself feel better just because somebody else is doing worse than you is not the reason why people say that. People could always have it worse, so yeah, that's why you should be grateful. Not, oh, they have it worse, so I'm actually doing fine, which a lot of people do, which I did a lot. I was well, I'm not as bad as that person. That doesn't make you a better person. It's for you to see that whatever you're going through right now, somebody has it worse, and they're coming out on top. So guys, just know that in order to get through this, you have to go through the hard times. But if you're not doing the right things to get ahead, if you're not doing the right things to do better for yourself, you're going to go through these same cycles. You're still going to come out on top, whether or not, you're always going to come out on top. You're always going to come out of it, and you're going to come out of it better, stronger. But you can speed up the process by doing the right things. Right? I'm sure this was all over the place. I'm hoping I can get something out of it. I'm going to put this out tonight. Thank you guys for watching, for listening. You got this, all right? You're going to get through this, okay? Fourth quarter, baby. Let's go.